Thanks for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast, where each week we talk about a free piece or two of technology that you can use in your classroom. I'm your host, Shanna Martin. I'm a middle school teacher, technology coach, and personalized learning coordinator for my district, and I'll be joined by my producer and husband, Fuzz Martin.
What's up?
Today we're going to talk about VideoNot.es and Playposit.
So before we get started, it's we're waiting as we record this. We're waiting for
Snowmageddon,
the snowpocalypse.
Yeah.
Also, my 14-year-old is in the basement watching
a series of unfortunate
events, which is not a good show, in my opinion.
The books are good.
It just has no.
The books are good.
It has no.
Cheeriness. You feel sad watching.
It's always unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate.
There's never any closure. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. There's never any closure. There's never any ups. Always just downs.
And every time you feel like you're like a little excited about something horrible happens to these children again.
But the reason I'm talking about this is because I just did something that is really fun. And I took our Amazon Alexa in one room and I announced for her to turn it down, which played in the basement. And then I heard her giggling down there, and she turned it down. So we can now record without
hearing a series of unfortunate events in the background.
Exactly. So tell us today about the two pieces of technology that we're going to discuss.
All right. Well, we are talking about VideoNot.es and Playposit. Both have quite a few different uses. As a starting point, I guess, like in a flipped classroom type idea, or students are getting background knowledge before they come into your classroom for like discussion and projects and things like that. But I feel like both of these can be used in so many other ways as like tools for students to use or ways for teachers to gather information from their students to know kind of what your students know or what they're gathering from what you're teaching them. So yeah, I don't know. They're cool, and even I think as I've showed you VideoNot.es, we'll get into a little bit that you have actually found some other uses as I was showing it to you today.
Yeah, from a professional side, yeah, definitely. I could definitely use that. I have. I mean, I don't know if it's allowed for me to, but
well, yeah, but we'll talk about it, and then you can throw out your ideas too, because maybe other people can use it for other things too.
Absolutely, or maybe students, once they've used it, someday they'll get a job where they're like, "Hey, there's this thing that I used, and it'll be cool."
Yeah, my teacher showed this tool to me, and now it's like the best thing ever.
And now I'm getting a promotion. What?
All right, so VideoNot.es is VideoNot.es.
Cool.
So
good
it's
use of the Espanol top-level domain.
Yeah, VideoNot.es. VideoNot.es.
España.
And it is super amazing. It connects to your Google Drive, so everything that you do will save right into a nifty little folder. So you go to VideoNot.es, you click sign in, sign up with Google. Magic, as we know, makes everything easy.
Absolutely.
And then you're going to put your link in for whatever video you want your students to watch, or they can put the video link in that they are going to watch. So I guess you have options here. It says like enter video URL. So you can pull a video off of YouTube. You can use student work if you've got the URL. Whatever URLs you have, you just drop it in. And once you drop in your video, then all you do is hit play and you take notes on the right hand side and you just type in the information that you want to, and it's all right there. So like second by second, it will log your notes for you.
Sure.
So whatever you want to be writing.
Does it give you a time code when you type it in so you know where in the video they are?
Yeah, it's just a giant list then of all of the times and every note that you keep.
Great, that's awesome.
So I'm thinking, as I've used it with some of my students before, and I recommended it for other teachers up through from, I would say, 4th, 5th grade, up through high school level can use it. The high school teachers and a lot of the upper level, like chemistry classes and stuff, if they have videos they're watching and students need to pull vocab or they need to have information, all of these notes then are saved into a Google folder. So students can refer back to videos. Like if the teacher recommends, hey, watch this, you need to know this information, this vocab, and like memorize like these different like processes, they can go back and they have those in their notes with the video.
This would be great for like pulling quotes for a paper or something that you need to like do a direct quote.
Yep, background knowledge for that. And then, research content, like pulling research content. But then even for younger students, to check student understanding. So you may watch a video as a class and then say, okay, now like take it home or on your own time, watch it again, and then take down some notes or pull out the main ideas. So for younger students, if they're in, 4th, 5th grade, and you're having them pull main ideas from certain concepts, then they can pull main ideas and just type them into their notes, and it's all saved into their folder. So it's very useful in many different aspects for any video, any content. I will put a video notes like assignment in my Google Classroom with the video notes link and the video I want my students to plug in, so they're all watching the same video. Then I see like if they've gotten the background knowledge before we have a class discussion the next day.
Sure.
But you don't have to give them the link. They could come up with the video that they're going to put into there. The only thing that sometimes teachers get a little hung up on in classroom is when you go to open your students, because you can open your students' notes then. So your students can turn them in like an assignment.
Yeah.
When you open it up, as a teacher, you have to have a video notes account. And then you open it through video notes. If you don't, it'll say like not compatible or something. But really, if you just click the video notes link, that is one of the options to open. It just opens up right into there.
Sure. It opens with the notes as well.
Yeah. And and then you see your student notes and you have all your students' work as well.
Great.
So it's a great like check-in. You can pull any videos, and there's many, many different uses. All different subject areas could use it for various different things.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That's a super cool tool. And so from my side, like we do a lot of video production, and we'll share videos with clients to say, hey, look at this video. Tell us what you think. And just looking at this program, we could send a link and they could add a certain time code, right? I don't like the music change at this position, or I don't like this shot here, and we'd have that information. Then the video editors can go back and make those edits. Now, I mean, there are some tools. There are some tools that we use that are paid tools that we use that are pretty expensive. That like through Vimeo and some other platforms that do this, but this looks pretty simple and pretty easy. And like if you're, let's say you're doing a freelance video or something that you just want to send off, or your buddy wants you to shoot his wedding. I don't know. Pretty cool tool that you can use outside of the classroom as well.
And one thing too, I have to make a side note, there are little tools in the top, like there is a save button where students do need to double check to make sure that they have saved their notes at the end. And they can create new notes within there, and then they can click share. So all of those options are in there.
Why doesn't the world just auto-save everything now?
Yeah. Well, that's because if you're probably typing a video and you're like, oh, maybe I didn't want that one or something, you can go back and delete. I don't know. But anyway, so make sure that they click the save button. But everything does, once you click save, goes into your little file in your Google folder. So if you look up video notes in your Google Drive, you'll find the folder of all the things.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Super helpful.
Yeah, it's very, very useful. I know many different subjects can use it. And I've had my students be like, yeah, that's awesome, because I can go back and I have all like my notes and work, and I didn't have to like write them down, and I can't lose them because they're in my drive, which is always a good thing. Yeah,
cool.
So yeah.
All right. So that's VideoNot.es. VideoNot.es, the website on that one.
Correct.
Cool. And then the next one we're talking about is Playposit.
Playposit. And the logo is a little dog.
Cool.
So you see this little, like, I think it's a dachshund.
Playposit.
Playposit. Yes, clever.
Thank you.
Yes. So Playposit, I've used for several years, and it keeps updating and changing. I use the free version. There are paid versions that give you way more options, but I found the free version to be just what I need for my class. But Playposit is another way for using video content in your classroom and allowing students to watch and interact with the videos that you post for them. So Playposit's slightly different, where it's you choose the video that you want the students to watch versus
Them adding
video
URL.
notes you could have kids pick their own
Sure.
videos and throw with something in. Like if you just say pick a chemistry video, they could pick any chemistry video they want. Playposit,
This one you tell them which one.
You as a teacher assign the video content that you want them to watch.
This is like a teacher forward piece of.
Yeah, this is more like teacher structured going to be versus there's less flexibility, but as a teacher you can see so much more with this one.
Sure. Okay.
So what you do is you click new, and then you click bulb, and they're called bulbs, which each like video is a bulb. You're able to add a class, so it actually connects to your Google Classroom.
Oh, okay.
So like you connect your classes, you set it up, you click on the little person, and you can upload. It connects to your Google Classroom, so it will upload your entire class list from Google Classroom, so you don't have to do that separately. It just transfers over, which is super nice. And then with your bulbs, each bulb is a video that you assign to your students. You can use pre-made bulbs that other teachers have created, or you can add your own content. There is a limit on how many bulbs you can have with the free version. I think it's 10,000 megabytes.
Okay.
For the free version, which basically gives you it depends how long your videos are. I've never had a problem where I've really had to run out of space because I delete out the videos once I've seen what my students know and we've had our discussions and change units and stuff. I delete them out. So you're able to pick your video, you drop in your bulb, and then you're able to add questions to make your video interactive to your students.
So you could like stop it at a certain point.
So the video automatically stops. So you're playing the video as a teacher. You drop in either a multiple choice question or a thought. You can put a pause in there where it just nothing happens except for you want your students to think about the topic that was just discussed. Or you can put in a short answer kind of question. And so the students can answer questions as they're watching the video, so they have to interact with the video, and the video stops. They have to answer it before the video will move on. I use it a lot for getting background knowledge on something I'm going to talk about or an area that we're going to discuss in class. That way it gives students kind of some thoughts like, okay, this is what's coming up next. What do you know? What background knowledge do you have? It gives me kind of a quick read on what my students have. And then the best part about Playposit is that you can monitor. So on the right-hand side of your screen, you have all these choices like editing and sharing and previewing and assigning and all this kind of stuff, because you can assign these bulbs to your classroom as an assignment into Google Classroom. When you click monitor, you can view your entire class question by question breakdown. So, and this is in the free version where I can see each question, the percentage of students, my students that had correct, who had it incorrect, who didn't complete the assignment, or who only watched half of it. And then you can put short answers in where they just go ungraded, which I have to grade each student individually, which is fine. I can have their short answer and see. And so I have every student, and it scores it for you, and you can see everything. So like green, red, orange. I think on the website, we'll put one of my teacher monitor sheets so you can see what it looks like. And it just lays out everything. So I have a super fast read on my entire class if they at least have some background knowledge or some background content what we're going to talk about, or if it's a completely new area that I know where to start from. So as a teacher, Playposit gives you a lot of quick feedback that I can just glance and see, like colors, green, okay, we're good, red, nope, we need to work on that. And then I can go back and read my students' short responses. So Playposit as a teacher is super great for quick feedback to see if your students are understanding the content of the video.
Could you possibly do that too up on a smartboard and do the questions together as a class without everybody one-to-one if they weren't one-to-one? Or
yes, if you weren't one-to-one, and you could definitely do it as a class and play it and have the questions, or you would have them if you don't have enough computers for your class, you have iPads or something, you could work even in small groups, and they could answer the questions as a group as they're watching the video too. And so I have videos, you can do short, like quick 3-minute videos, or I think one of my examples I loaded in is like a 10-minute video because we were talking about like Independence Hall or something. So, so different content
Could you load
areas.
up like National Treasure and
not full movies, unless if you have the paid version, you could load in a full movie. There's protections on stuff too, but content areas, they have things from music to art to math to like Spanish and foreign language and travel, and there's just
where they have
so many options
videos in there
where they have pre-made bulbs done by other teachers.
Oh, sure, okay.
Or like as a teacher, you can pick if you're teaching German and you want your students to know like certain background knowledge before they have a discussion in class, or if they're learning new vocabulary, you could pull up a video on that and ask them just basic questions. So there's
Was ist das?
There you go. Great. Now you can do the whole rest of the podcast in German for us.
No thanks.
But yeah, so it's just very cool. As a teacher, it's a great way to monitor your students and do some video stuff, especially if you're doing flipped classroom ideas, just to get a quick read on your students and give them some background knowledge too.
Yeah, that's super cool. It's Playposit.
Playposit.
P-O-S-I-T. So PLAYPOSIT.com.
Yes, it's got a little dog.
And if you go to smartandwi.com and search Playposit, you can find the link to the episode here, and it has that video. If you're listening, like when this comes out fresh, if you just go to smartandwi.com, it'll be right there. But if you're listening like to an archived version of this or an older version of this, then just search Playposit. And
you'll be able to find it.
Yeah. Those are some super cool tools that you can use in your classroom, and they both have free versions. They both connect to Google. I think they both connect.
They do, yes. Playposit will connect to your Google Classroom. It doesn't necessarily save to your Google Drive because it's more of like teacher led, so you can put it in your classroom.
Yep.
And again, that's the free version. In the paid version of Playposit, you have almost unlimited, like you have much more room to put videos. You have more flexibility with editing your videos. In the free version, you can't really edit your videos, but there's a lot more options in the paid version. But again, the free version has been sufficient for my classroom and gotten everything that I need. But yes, anyway, both of them are connecting through different forms of Google and easy to use.
And again, if you ever have any ways that you're using this technology that would be helpful to share with others, either leave a comment on our website or shoot Shanna a message on Twitter at SmartInWI.
It's always fun to see what everybody else is doing.
It is. Well, very good. That'll do it for another week of the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast.
That's us. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. This has been the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast. If you ever have any questions, you can find me on Twitter at SmartInWI. And if you want to get more information on the links to the technology discussed in today's episode, visit smartindwi.com. New episodes coming each week. Thanks for listening. Go educate and innovate.
The ideas and opinions expressed in this podcast and the Smart and WI website are those of the author, Shanna Martin, and not of her employer. Prior to using any of the technologies discussed on this show, please consult with your employer regulations. This podcast offers no guarantees that these tools will work for you as described, but we hope so. Talk to you soon. Thanks again for listening to the Tech Tools for Teachers podcast.